Hello everyone. Returning viewers may have noticed I rebranded the channel a little bit. So basically in this video and in future videos on the channel, I'm going to be talking about the Apex Legends competitive scene. So for this video, I'm going to be setting the stage for the scene. This will be a good video for people who might not be all that familiar, but also for people who are active viewers of the scene and want to know what's changed in year 4. In future videos, I'm going to be doing some analysis on teams, talking about the meta, giving updates on the scene overall, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the new direction I'm taking the channel. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to be talking to you all who know absolutely nothing about Apex as an esport. For those of you who understand the basics of how it functions and everything like that, there's a timestamp in the description if you want to skip me going over the basics and go straight into talk about year 4. If you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you know what Apex is and what its fundamentals are in terms of a battle royale. So I'm not going to be going over that, but I'm going to be discussing how the pro and competitive scene works. This upcoming year, we'll be going into year 4 of the ALGS. So what exactly does that mean? The Apex Legends Global Series, or more commonly referred to as ALGS, is a nearly year-long competition. Teams will compete for money and a chance to be crowned champions. Our most recent champions were TSM, led by their IGL Imperialhal, who you may have heard of. So how do teams become champions? Well, that process starts with the Apex Legends Pro League. Most of the teams who are in Pro League are teams that qualified through their play last year. However, some teams are invited directly by EA at their own discretion. And then a handful more qualify through something called the Preseason Qualifiers. I'm not going to be getting deep into how the Preseason Qualifiers work, but just know that it's a semi-open way for teams to qualify for Pro League. Anyway, in all regions, there are 30 teams in Pro League divided into 3 groups of 10. Over the course of about 2 months, each team will ultimately play 6 times, and after every team has played 6 times, the top 20 teams in each region will play in something called the regional finals. The team that comes first in the regional finals will qualify for an international in-person event. After regional finals, the regional leaderboards will be set in stone, and based off of the now 7 times each team has played, a certain amount of top teams from each region will qualify for that in-person event. I say a certain amount because the amount is different for different regions due to the varying skill levels. But in year 3, this is how it broke down. The top 10 teams from NA, the top 9 from EMEA, the top 8 from APAC North, the top 4 from South America, and the top 4 from APAC South. And when you combine those teams with the ones who won their regional finals, you'll get a total of 40 teams at the in-person events. 2 of these tournaments with the exact same qualification pathway happen each year, and they're called the Split 1 playoffs and the Split 2 playoffs, where teams play for a share of $1 million at each event. I'm not going to be breaking down how the in-person tournament works for now, but what you need to know is that by making it to these events and the better you play, the teams earn points toward the final tournament of the year, which is rightly known as champs. Most teams who qualify for champs make it through the points I just mentioned for making it to either the Split 1 or Split 2 playoffs. Each region holds an additional tournament though, where 1 or 2 teams are able to qualify for champs even if they did not have enough points. That tournament is called the Last Chance Qualifier, or more commonly referred to as LCQ. Okay, so at the championship, there are again 40 teams, and ultimately a winner is crowned, taking home a share of $2 million. I know it can be confusing, so if you're still confused about how it works, please drop a comment and I'll respond and do my best to help you out. Alright, so now that we understand how the pro scene works, what's to come of the next year of competition? So remember the preseason qualifiers that I mentioned earlier, which is a semi-open way to qualify for Pro League? Well, they actually began today. So I'm going to give a quick rundown. To put it simply, for preseason qualifiers, a bunch of teams will sign up to compete over the course of about a month, and the top 8 teams will qualify for Pro League in each respective region. While although most of the teams competing are certainly not the greatest, there will still be some elite talent that comes up through the preseason qualifiers. For example, last year, the team that came 3rd in the Split 2 playoffs and 16th at the championship, winning themselves over $125,000, qualified to Pro League through their preseason play. At the time, they were known as the BR Demons, but now they're signed to the org Oxygen Esports. Another player started playing last year through these qualifiers and eventually made his way onto the team that would win the ALGS Split 2 playoffs and as a team make $300,000. Additionally, a different player worked his way up through these qualifiers and was picked up by a team that would be 5th in the Split 2 playoffs and 6th at Champs, making over $160,000 as a team. The point I'm trying to make is that while all of these teams might not be elite, there's certainly some elite talent playing in these qualifiers, and for that reason, I think they're certainly worth a watch. Hey guys, a quick editor's note. The preseason qualifiers actually didn't start today. They start on November 25th, but the same point still stands. Now that we've talked about preseason play, you guys need to know what's going on in actual pro play, which will be starting January 20th, which may seem super far away, but trust me, it'll be here before you know it. So I'm not going to be getting into the rosters in this video, because again, it's kind of more of like an overview of the scene. A video about that will be coming soon though. Anyways, unfortunately, South America will no longer be represented in Pro League. However, they still will have a chance to qualify for ALGS LAN events. Basically, all South American teams will now play in the Challenger circuit, and the top 2 teams from the regional finals will make it to LAN. China have now been welcomed to the ALGS. 2 teams will be making it to the Split 1 playoffs, and depending on how they do, between 2 and 4 teams will make it to Split 2. The number of teams qualifying to the Split 1 playoffs from each region has also been modified a bit. There will now be 12 teams from North America and 8 teams from each EMEA, APAC South, and APAC North. And of course, the 2 teams from China and the 2 teams from South America that I just mentioned will add up to the 40 teams that will be present at each LAN. The Pro League pricing is now even across the board, where each region will get $125,000 per split in pricing. Another change is that inactive Pro League players, so like basically subs, will now have the ability to play in the Challenger circuit over the course of the season. The final pretty big change is coming with the match point format. Basically, in LCQ this past year, they implemented a rule that at least 6 games had to be played for the tournament to end. And that rule is sticking around in LCQ for year 4, but it will also be added to the Pro League qualifier finals and the Pro League regional finals, meaning that in each of these competitions, at least 6 games will have to be played. If you're confused on how anything will work this year, ask it down in the comments and I or somebody else will help you out. Subscribe if you're interested in the Apex Pro scene or anything like that, because I'm going to be talking about it all year. I'm going to be doing my best to upload at least 2 to 4 times a month, but yeah. If I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for the videos I should do leading up to Pro League next year, let me know. If you made it this far, please subscribe and drop a like on the video. It helps the channel out a lot. And yeah, see you guys later.